So before joining Avocademy, what made you decide like now it's the time to move forward with this?
For me, I was just not in a good spot. COVID had a huge impact on me in the medical field, and I had just given birth to my daughter just a couple months before. And I was on call all the time, and I just was exhausted, and I was just mentally, physically drained. And not happy. And I knew that I needed to do something creative. And I searched and I searched and I searched and I made so many calls, and I finally stumbled upon Avocademy. And I just remember like talking to my husband. It was like, I want to say right around Thanksgiving time. And I was like, I'm going to do it. Like, I just feel it. Like it's like, I'm meant to do this, and I'm going to give it a shot. And I'm so glad I did. And honestly, best decision I ever made. So yeah, it was just that I just knew. I don't know how to explain it. I was just like, this is the time I need to change. So
Super relatable to Brittany. I vividly remember this like last year. I was about to graduate with my master's in education, and I just knew in the pit of my stomach that teaching was not something that I was going to be doing for a long time, nor that I wanted to stay in. And I always had like an interest in the tech field, but I never really knew like what fields I could transfer my skills over from, like from research or just psychology and things of that nature. And I remember setting up a call with Carla. Shouts out Carla. She was like there to provide me like all the information. And I just remember like same thing with Brittany. I just had like that feeling of like, if not now, then when? And I also kind of had the mentality of like, okay, in a year from now, am I going to be upset that I didn't make this jump? Or in a year from now, am I going to be happy with my decision and be enjoying what I do?
So for me, it was also kind of similar. There was like this moment of realization. I had been pretty unhappy at my job because it paid really badly and it was kind of a dead end, and I was not interested in it anymore. And I remember having dinner with some of our good friends with my husband and I, and when they had both switched careers, like my friend had been a receptionist and she became a computer programmer. And they were saying like, Julia, you could learn a new skill. Like, you're really smart. You don't have to stay in your career if you don't want to. You can always learn something new. So then I started researching different types of careers that I could switch to. And I had a friend who had switched like 3 years ago from being a waitress to being a UX designer. And I was like, what's that? So I looked it up and I took a few like short mini courses, and I actually found Avocademy on Instagram of all places. And I'm like, is this legit? I mean, like, what is this? And then I set up a call with Maka, who's the founder, and she was really awesome. And I really like that something she talked about was really important to her was that she wants like to reach as many like women and non-binary people and people of color as she could. And that's a big focus of the program, which was really important to me.